Hey. Okay, so I think about a week ago now, I believe, I decided to kind of broaden my Twitter experience and kind of share more cooking tips and more recipes. I found that during my approximate 2 months of completely staying at home and not working, making those videos were a lot of fun. And and I've tried to continue a few of them since I've gone back to work, but I'm working now, so it's not as easy, but definitely still super, super fun. So I figure something like hashtag chef's tips could kind of combine the two, so I can still broaden my horizons and share my passion on Twitter, but it won't necessarily take up as much time as items did before. So with that tweet, I actually got a couple of requests. So I love requests. I love it challenges me to try something. And one of them was one of my Twitter friends. She tried this one fudge that she really, really liked, and she wanted to learn to make fudge. So I'm going to actually try to recreate that fudge for her. Should be interesting. I have made fudge before, but never that particular fudge. So it should be interesting. And in my little research, of course, one of the main ingredients in fudge is condensed milk. I've always used the stuff from the can, but coming along, doing a little bit of research, I've discovered that you can actually make it yourself, which of course you can. So I wanted to try to make my own condensed milk for the fudge. So the fudge is going to be completely homemade, from the condensed milk to the caramel, and then of course the fudge. So this will be quite an interesting little adventure. So it looks like condensed milk is actually theoretically very, very simple to make. 2 ingredients: milk and sugar. So the biggest thing is it's very time consuming, and making the caramel will have the similar kind of problem or difficulty with it, in that you really have to low and slow. Because caramel is only one ingredient, or basic caramel is only one ingredient. So yeah, it should be. So we'll see how this turns out. It should be a lot of fun. I'm excited. So right here I have my 2 cups of milk. So just pour that into a saucepan and add to that 2/3 of a cup of white sugar. Or really any sugar. I did see websites where you could use coconut sugar, which is super, super sweet. I have had coconut sugar before, and it is super, super sweet, so be careful with that. You can also use other types of sweeteners. I think honey was listed. You cannot use stevia or any ones like that, because they are because of the chemical difference in them. It won't. And you can also use different types of milk, from what I've seen as well. So if you wanted to make a vegan condensed milk, you can definitely use other milks, but this is what we have. So we're going to just start with the base. We're just going to go with just the basic one, as I've never made it before. So that is a good recommendation if you've never made something before, and you can, and your diet allows for it, to start kind of at the basic and then experiment from there. Okay, so now that that's in there, the goal is to heat it on low and stir until that sugar dissolves. So that low is the key factor in this. Milk can scorch very, very easily. So low and slow. Low and slow. So if you've ever worked with condensed milk, you probably know that it's super, super thick. So that's kind of essentially what we're doing here, is we're evaporating the water content from the milk to get that thickness. So I don't know how well you can hear, but you can kind of hear that sugar scraping along as I stir. So that means the sugar has not dissolved yet. So once you stop hearing that noise, that's how you know it's time to move on to the next step. Here again. Almost there. Just hear a little bit of that sugar. Perfect. So now that that sugar is dissolved, we're going to put it even lower. I think as low as it can go, because we're essentially leaving it alone for about 30 to 40 minutes. So, yeah, we want to not burn the milk, but let that water in the milk evaporate and thicken up. So I guess I will see you in about 30 to 40 minutes. So in surprising fashion for me, I think I was too low. So yeah, definitely part of that key is to make sure you bring it up to a simmer before you turn it down. So you want to melt that sugar on low heat, turn it up once the sugar is melted to about medium low, and then once you get that simmer, turn it back down just a little bit and keep your eye on it. Make sure it doesn't boil over or burn, because again, you really have to watch that. So you want to cook it until it's thickened and also the sugar caramelizes, which is why you can't use some of those other sugars because they don't caramelize. So you can use honey, as I said, coconut sugar, any sugar that caramelizes should work. And same, the milk, as long as there's a fat-water ratio, should be able to work with that as well. So you can see here what we've got. So you can see the milk has definitely become darker in color. You can almost maybe recognize that color now from the can. You can see it's starting to thicken up quite a bit here. And it also has reduced. So it reduces it by about half is kind of what you're going for. So here we go. I would say that's reached the consistency about what we want. The color's there, the flavor's there, and it's definitely, I can feel, stirring with my spoon, you can feel that it's thick. Kind of see it there. Can make it a little thicker if you want, but we're probably gonna, I think I'm gonna go with this and see how that works. So we're just gonna put it in a container and let it cool. Okay, so the condensed milk has cooled down. So you can see how much thicker it has gotten. It's like perfect. Give it a taste. Yeah, that's condensed milk. Yeah, that's face is because it's very, very strong. But it tastes like the condensed milk that you would just buy in the can does, which also tastes very, very strong. So I think that's a success. So I can't wait. So on Thursday, we'll be turning this into fudge. See you then.